Let's take a quick look at the interface of FL Studio 20. We have the menu bar on the left corner here, a bit unusual for a Mac, but this mirrors how it works on Windows. The file menu has options for loading templates, just like we saw in the last tutorial. We have the empty template open, and clicking new will load the last open template. Here we can open, save, import, export. Exporting we will look at again later on when finishing up the project. Edit menu. Add menu to add generators or software instruments. There's a pattern menu, which will make sense when we take a look at patterns. You can access the same menu from here too. Next, we have some view options to open close windows. Options menu for setting up audio, MIDI, and general project settings. A tools menu, and lastly, the help menu. Alright, right next to the menu bar, we have the transport section here. Play, stop, record, project tempo. This pattern song selector is important, and we'll get back to that. While we're here, I also want to talk about the hint panel. Hovering on any dial or interface element will give you some information in that hint panel, so always a good idea to keep an eye on it. It will also let you know the key commands for that particular option. And if it's a parameter control, you will see values here. That red dot indicates that the parameter can be automated. The slider shows the relative song position, not very detailed, but good to get a general idea of where you are in the song. Individual buttons here to turn on/off options. Now I'm not going to explain each, but you can take a look at the hint panel to know what each does. Most of them are pretty straightforward. This is your song position indicator. You can right-click and change it from bar beats to minutes and seconds. Generally, you want to keep that on bar, beats, and ticks. Some meters here, which will make more sense when we have some content in the project. Some more options in this section of the toolbar. And again, we will look at them throughout this course as and when we need them. Now, here are some main windows we will be using a lot, so let's quickly go over them. Clicking here opens the playlist window. This is where you will create your arrangements using those patterns I alluded to earlier. Next, this will open the one and only MIDI editor, the piano roll window. Pretty self-explanatory what this is for, but there are a lot of features here which we will explore later on. Next, this icon will open or close the channel rack, which is where you house all the instruments, audio, and automation used in the project. Think of it like your virtual studio rack. You can also do some basic MIDI step sequencing, which we will explore later on. Next is a mixer, which is where you will route the individual channels from the channel rack, add effects, mix, and process them to be sent to the master output. A lot of functionality here to be explored later on. This icon here opens or closes a browser on the left, which is where you can access the different instruments, samples, audio, and even content from the current project. A very important window as well. Okay, so that's the toolbar area. We've looked at 5 main windows, which we will be using a lot. Now this toolbar can be modified. Right-clicking here will show us some factory presets. Let's try this single line one. Quite minimal, but those 5 main window icons are still here. Let's try the compact one. Lots of empty space here. I prefer making use of this space, so let's go back to the default Mac OS one as I'm on a Mac. Now I can also edit this preset if I want to add on some options. Let's select Edit. We can add additional controls to the toolbar by just dragging and dropping. I like this key modifier indicator. So with the command one, when I hold down the command key, you see it light up. Very helpful when I'm showing key commands. Let's add the shift one too, and the option one as well. So all 3 light up when I click those modifier keys. Cool, so that's a quick look at the interface elements in FL Studio 20.